Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Forgive the speech, but I've got a few things that I'd like to say, and then I would like to introduce our guest performer. So thank you all so much again for being here. My name is Katie Dillard. I'm the Director of Curatorial Affairs here at the Albany Museum of Art. So I want to tell you a little bit about this exhibition. It was supported by Art Bridges in Arkansas. They're a nonprofit foundation. Yes, they're wonderful. They're also in conjunction with Crystal Bridges Museum of Art, if anyone has heard of that or been there. Yes, yes. So this comes to us in Albany as part of the museum's commitment to sharing stories and perspectives of all Americans. This exhibition brings together the work of two photographers, which is funny because they're on the other side of these walls. Edward Curtis from the 1900s and contemporary Navajo or Diné artist Will Wilson. Curtis spent 30 years photographing indigenous North Americans, but his images were often staged and romanticized, showing what he thought Native life should look like, not necessarily what it was. So we're going to fast forward to today. Will Wilson is flipping that script. His project, the Critical Indigenous Photographic Exchange, invites his indigenous sitters to represent themselves, choosing how they pose, what they wear, and how they want to be seen. He gives them the original tintype in the return, and that is part of that exchange. Will Wilson uses an old school wet plate photographic technology, but he adds a modern twist. He uses augmented reality with some of his photographs, and in the exhibition you will find those photographs marked by a double T. There's instructions on the walls. So this exhibition is about how we tell stories, who gets to tell them, and how images can shape identities then and now. So I mentioned the AMA's commitment to telling and sharing stories and perspectives of all Americans, and part of that involves the museum having completed a land acknowledgement. This is becoming a standard practice within museums and institutions nationwide. It's not meant to exclude anyone, but rather to recognize and honor those who have come before us. And as a reminder to be good stewards of the land that we have and that we share with one another. So I'd like to share that statement with you all today. The AMA gratefully acknowledges the Muskogee and Lower Creek peoples on whose ancestral homelands we gather, as well as the surrounding diverse and vibrant indigenous peoples who have made their home in Georgia, such as the Cherokee, the Appalachee, the Yuchi, the Alabama, the Hichiti, and the Gwale peoples. So now I would like to introduce our performer, Mr. Swil. Mr. Kanim is a member of the Lummi Nation, a U.S. Army veteran, a classically trained violinist, a native storyteller, and an actor. Mr. Kanim currently serves on the board of the Seattle Symphony, and he has been the recipient of many awards and honors. He's been a featured performer at the American Indian Film Awards in San Francisco since 2003. He performs at community events and schools around the country where he plays his own compositions, which are infused with his own life experiences and musical influences. He has said that his talents for music are the direct product of a well-supported public school music program, and I also come from a well-supported public school arts program, so I am your sister. This is a very, very important thing. So Mr. Kanim performed at the West Coast American Indian Music Awards in 2008, where he was presented with awards for both the classical and traditional instruments. That same year, he was invited to perform for the Dalai Lama at Seattle's Key Arena at the Seeds of Compassion event. Through his gift of storytelling, he passionately encourages and inspires people from all walks of life to honor and to follow their passion. During this age in which division is so easily and readily drawn between people, the AMA would like to thank Mr. Kanim for coming all the way down to the opposite corner of the continental U.S. To come share stories with us and to remind us to give honor to others and to ourselves. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. After that introduction, I want to meet me. Out of curiosity, I do this everywhere I go. I check in and I make sure. Is there anyone here who has not seen me perform before? If you could please just raise your hand if you have not seen. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, then I better start from the beginning. I like to introduce myself with a story. In the Lummi tribal tradition, this is considered a short story. That means that it's less than 3 days long. And it goes like this. Time ago, there was a tree, a big tree. No, we're talking a huge tree that was once an itty-bitty little seedling. It survived that first winter. It learned how to bend with the wind. Seasons would come and go, years would go by. Eventually children would play underneath the tree, and they'd grow up, and their children would play underneath the tree, and they'd grow up, and their children would play underneath the tree. Little itty-bitty songbirds built purty little nests in the highest branches of the tree so they could peek over the edge of the nest and sing their purty little songbird songs. And they went something like this. Chirp! Chirp! Squirrels would run up and down the tree for no apparent reason. Someone put a swing on a branch so everyone could feel the summer breeze right along with that tree until one winter the northeaster was just too much and the tree fell. A woman walked by. Her name is Dorothy Smith. She looked at that tree and she said, "You know, I think there's a violin inside that tree." So with her magic hands, she reached inside the tree and she pulled a violin out, because that is what she was created to be, a violin maker. She made violins to be played at sacred moments and special places like this. What makes this a sacred moment? What makes this a special place? It's your choice and my choice. For how could I hope for a sacred life if I can't hold a single moment as sacred? How can I love all of creation if I forget about the trees all around us holding the sky up for us? Now, the rest of that tree, it made toilet paper. This is the tree that Dorothy Smith found for you and for me. If you look at it closely, you can see that there are lines in the grain of the wood. Every line in the grain of wood is a symbol of a winter survived. You see, even trees make their mark during the toughest of times. Even trees make their mark during the toughest of times. like when I first started, my foster parents, they were like, son, please practice. Practice, practice, practice. Just don't practice while we are home. I tell this story because I believe that honor is in the spirit of a complete communication. The whole story, not just a story that's told from the beginning until the end, but rather a story that is told from a diversity of perspective. My name is Richard Marshall. I use that if I owe you money. My identity, who I am, is Swil Kanim. That's my Lummi name. Now, some would say that I'm part Nooksack tribe, part Upper Skagit, part Samish tribe. I don't know what part of me is which. I guess that means that I am everyone I am, not part anyone. Like in the spirit of we, the people, we are everyone we are, not part anyone. We are all of our stories, told and untold. We're all of our mistakes. We're every single one of our victories, no matter how small. That is who we are. In 1983, Native elders met at the University of Lethbridge to address substance abuse on reservations and reserves throughout North America. They looked at all the causes and effects and concluded the hurt of one is the hurt of all, and the honor of one is the honor of all. The moment I heard that phrase, it occurred to me, what if? What if I honor all the skills, gifts, and talents that got me through my most difficult times? And what if I share that with others? Maybe they'd be inspired to do the same, be all of who they are, and honor themselves. And that might inspire others. And it occurred to me, my honor honors everyone. Honoring myself doesn't require someone else to honor me. I like honor in the dictionary, it says honor is a higher degree of respect. In the same way, self-honoring, honoring oneself is a higher degree of self-respect. So this is a piece I wrote about that notion. It's called The Honor of All. You can come in. You can come in. You can come in if you want. Okay, never mind. I scared them away. They probably heard that first song, huh? Thanks.